Welcome back, Gridiron Girls! This week we're going to make a UCLA mug using a mug I got from the dollar store and two colored Sharpies, baby blue and the bright yellow. So this is a fairly simple project. What we're going to do is draw a design on the mug with Sharpie and then bake it for 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Let it dry completely before putting it in the oven and completely after taking it out of the oven. Make sure that it is cooling in the oven. So as soon as it's done baking for 30 minutes, turn the oven off, leave the mug inside and let it bake and let it cool inside there. That just helps the Sharpie last longer, your design set completely in. So we're just going to do the word UCLA. It's fairly simple. I'm not like the most crafty with drawing and stuff like that, so this might not turn out to be the best I've ever done, but we'll give it a shot. So first let me take a picture of these tools that we'll be using. Okay. I'm just putting this little thing underneath me so that I don't get Sharpie all over. So basically, if you're a UCLA fan, you know about the UCLA like writing. So it's good to be very careful when doing this. Sorry, I can't really talk so much while I'm doing it. It's tricky. Okay. So it's okay if you make a couple of mistakes on there. You can see some of the lines on mine, like right here. We're going to color it all the way in. So it's okay if there's some mistakes on it. You just have to make sure that you get the image that you want on there. That's the main thing. After we've outlined it in blue, we're going to re-outline on the outside of that blue in the yellow. The emblem that I looked up is in the blue and with the yellow outline. So this is just going to be more of an accent. And then inside this blue down here, we're going to write Bruins in yellow. And that'll pull it together and make it the UCLA theme and with the UCLA colors. It's a little bit harder once we already have the lines to do the yellow, because you don't want to blend it with the blue. That's going to make green, and that's definitely not a UCLA color. Also, you have to be very careful touching any of the Sharpie. It may not have dried completely, and you definitely don't want to smear Sharpie on your mug. It's hard to get it off, and it could ruin your whole project, and that would not be pretty. Here we go. Doing projects like this that take like the fine motor skills always make me really shaky and nervous how they're gonna turn out. Again, I'm just using UCLA as an example. I like to use different schools because that gives me a variety. It helps me reach a variety of my fan base and a variety of different area codes and schools and people. You may be from a different state but love UCLA. You never know. But just like any other project, you can modify it. Use colors from your school. Use your school's initials. Use colors that you love the most. Like I could do it in black and orange and it could still be an LSU mug, you know. As long as it's what I love. As long as it's how I want it to be, then it's perfect, right? But for the sake of basing it on purely the team's colors and everything, we're going to stick with what we know. And that's that powder blue and the cornflower yellow. That's what this is called, I believe. Oh, yellow blaze. Once again, I got this mug from the dollar store, and I got these Sharpies from Michael's. The oil-based paint Sharpies work just as well. They're a little bit more expensive, and you have to be a little bit more careful about smearing them, but they bake just as well as these ones do on the mug. So if you have those at home or you wanted to get some, this would be a good excuse. Budget this into your... And this whole craft all together only cost me about $3, $4 to do, because the dollar store mug was $1, and each Sharpie was probably about $1.99 maybe. You can get them at different places for cheaper. I already had a blue one, so I just went ahead and bought the yellow. But even if I had bought the blue, it would only have been about a $4 project. $4 to make a mug that you could probably buy at the UCLA bookstore. It's pretty great, right? I like it. And then we're going to write Bruins in here in yellow. So this one's going to be the hard part. The traditional UCLA Bruins font is harder to do. But we're going to try it. Sorry, that's Bandit. B. Swear he thinks he's so neglected. See, I never get any attention. And now just go ahead and color that yellow and make it solid. And as you can probably see, where I'm coloring it in the yellow, it's covering up that blue line that I made a little mistake with. And then we're going to color in around the yellow with the blue so we can make, if our letters are too foul on one side or messed up or anything, we can just outline it in the blue and make it look a little bit better. Remember, every mistake we can fix. We can find a way. Just have to focus really well here. Okay. UCLA Bruins. And now we're going to go back through and color in the letters completely and color in around the Bruins in blue. And maybe go back over some areas that we need to touch up. And then we're gonna toss it in the oven. So, let's see. Blue. To go through and just make. I like to do it in little circles because it makes it come out more solid. You can do it in like strokes, however you want to do it. Just gonna make you sit and watch me do one letter, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Cut the video off. Tell you once again, as soon as you color the Sharpie all the way in and you get your design how you want it, you're gonna let it dry completely. I recommend leaving it for about 15 minutes to dry. That way any of the Sharpie that may still be wet will dry completely before you put it in the oven. You're gonna set the oven at 350 and put the mug in while it's still cool. You're going to let the mug bake in there for 30 minutes. Turn the oven off and leave the mug inside. Let the mug cool completely inside the oven. Once it's completely cool in the oven and the mug is cooled off, you can take it out. Let it sit and try not to wash it for a couple of days. You should have washed the mug as soon as you purchased it and brought it home. That's what I like to do just because, you know, people are touching stuff there. You don't want that. Your stuff to get touched by strangers before you put it in your mouth, so just be super careful about that. Make sure just to not wash your newly baked mug for a few days. That just gives your mug a little bit of extra time for the Sharpie to set and your design to stain the porcelain of the mug. And there we go. So that's essentially what it's going to look like. We're going to go in down here and do the same thing. Go around all the letters and outline them in blue. So that's pretty much it. Once you get this all the way done, you can, like I said, leave it for about 15 minutes to dry, put it in the oven, set the oven at 350, bake for 30 minutes, let it cool inside the oven, then take it out, wait a couple days to wash it or do anything, and you're all set. Thanks again for watching, and come back next week for an Alabama magnet board made out of a cookie sheet. Thanks. Bye, Gridiron Girls.